All right, all you snowboarders of the internet, we're here, we're live, and we're taking your questions. So get them in the chat box wherever it appears on there. Super chats do get a spin of the wheel. No big prizes for this Sunday late night live stream, but we do have some stuff in the works for the future here. Let's see, big things in the works. I have officially finished filming the snowboard pant destruction video, so you'll start seeing that. Small things for that coming out on Instagram and shorts on YouTube, and then the full big thing will come out on that as well. There's 69 reviews left to edit, which have got stuff scheduled. So yeah. All right, let's get this going here and take you guys' questions and hopefully get you all set up, dialed in for the season. So we've got the first super chat of the night from Surf Punk. Whatever happened to Planet Earth Outerwear? So it disappeared. It kind of went out of business. Chris Miller brought it back and was working with Signal and stuff. And it had like a resurgence for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then it was just like gone again. Just one of those cases of a company that you made outerwear wrong 1 year and it was just like poof, gone. So yeah. Remember to ollie those slow signs. Yeah. All right. Well, first person of the night got a small sticker pack. So all you have to do is email me info@angrysnowboarder.com with your mailing address, and I'll get that in the mail. I have been making a ton more stickers right now, like a ton. I'd made 60-something feet of cut 60-something feet of vinyl. So yeah. We got our moderator, Billy Ray Valentine, letting everyone know that he is presently on an airplane. So if he disappears, they probably crashed. All right. We got Evian Mist. Two very light drinks right there. Is Huck Knife a fun board to pop off rollers and side hits, or more of a park fellow? Or more of a park fellow, or are those the same type of board? They're the exact same type of board. For what you're describing, that thing will absolutely work. Just understand the Huck Knife for this year got the Assassin carbon layup in it, so it's a little more snappy than it's been. So you're going to end up getting a little bit more power and pop out of it. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. So Fruit Poop Loops. Already massed like 10 boards and lost count. I think I have a board hoarding addiction. You think you have an addiction? That's 2 small stacks of boards right there. There's a stack of prize boards there. There's a couple boards over there. My laundry room has about 40 snowboards in it right now. Living room's got about another 30. Spare bathroom has boards in boxes. I think there's about 20 boards in there. Bedroom has like another 10 or 15 in it. And then the storage locker, I think, has like another 15 boards. That's hoarding. I'm trying to downsize, and it's getting awful. I think I'm just going to start giving away used, like super used boards, and just be like, you get a snowboard, and you get a snowboard, just because I need to get rid of them. They're awful. All right. Let's see what we got here. Struzzy got the new Psycho Candy. Is that board actually a directional pig, and does it bang like one? It's the women's version between the War Pig and the Super Pig, but the bigger sizes, the 54 and 58, are actually designed for a guy to ride. So it's softer than a Super Pig and a little more directional than a War Pig, but it's not stiffer than a War Pig. If anything, it's about the same flex. All right. Let's see. We got some super chats here. We got J Rez with the super chat. Is the yes, why dead? Is it true? Cruise the blue. Hashtag cruise the blues. Hashtag get David a tanker. Hashtag Donick sucks. Yeah. So the yes and the optimistic got merged into each other. So the new optimistic is torsionally softer, and overall it's a little bit softer, so they kind of blend both characteristics in it. So the Optimistic is more approachable. So if you liked the Y, but the Optimistic was too stiff for you, you'll probably like the new Optimistic just because they merged them together. So I think I posted the review for that already over on Angry Snowboarder VIP for the new Optimistic. But I'll probably schedule the Optimistic review first week of October. So. Ooh, spin again. All right, what do we got? Ooh, fire cures all. Fire cures all. Let's see. Take another question here. All right. Ben Donaldson, good evening. I wear Burton Swath boots with bow. I find them super comfy, but I always hear folks say you need aftermarket insoles. What's the best insole to get? Are shred soles still a thing? Yeah, I think you can still get shred soles on Amazon. I'm a fan of Remind. There's FP, Superfeet. Pretty much the big thing is finding the one that matches up to your arch height and length, as well as the width of your foot, and then just trimming it to fit so it fits in there. So kind of a lot like finding, best boot, best footbed. So hopefully this winter I'll be able to do like a breakdown. Like I already did one for Remind. I want to do one for Superfeet, DFP, Sole, and all the different insoles out there. I want to be able to break them down for everyone so I can be like, okay, these are the 5 miles they have for snowboarding. This is what this fits, and this fits, and do that for you guys. But just got to kind of wait for money to come in for that one. Okay. Charles E. Fine, do you know when the Nidecker Supermatics are released? I haven't missed it already, have I? You mean this? No, these, I believe they're shipping October, is what I heard. Like October 15th. I don't know if that's accurate, but you still got some time. They haven't shipped yet, so. Okay. We got Nick. How's the Jones Tweaker as a beginner park board? I'm using the War Pig on the medium-sized jumps and want to get on the rails. Just go ride your War Pig on the rails. I mean, Tweaker wouldn't be my first thought for a park board for a beginner. I'd be like, I mean, there's so many better boards for a beginner for park. We got Ted G. Summer tourists are the worst. I concur. Holy fuck, this last week has been just like hellaciously awful. Some dumb bitch kicked my dog at the dog park because her dog tried to hump her while she was laying down. So my dog corrected her dog and went to go lay back down. The woman ran up and kicked her right in the stomach where she got spayed. I lost my shit. Thought I was seriously going to kill 2 octogenarians. But the words, I will send you home in a fucking body bag from the dog park came out of my mouth. Not a sentence I thought I would ever say, but I did. I put the living fear of God into her and her husband. The best was when he was like, I'm calling 911, and I informed him 18.5-minute response time for them to show up. I was like, you're both dead. You want to keep going? Sit down and shut the fuck up or I'll break your hip, old man. And that was it. I mean, fucking the worst. My friends that work in restaurants just had to kick people out from multiple different restaurants for just being super rude. Just watching people be entitled, almost got hit because a car was driving the wrong way down a one-way. And when I yelled at them, they're like, doesn't matter. And I was like, oh, it kind of fucking does. And I was like, why don't you step out and say it to my face? Summer terrorists, like, there's no excuse for the level of stupidity that they fucking have. Oh, yeah. Support the Shred Foundation, people. Support the Shred Foundation. All right. Shylink, spin for the quick summer. Fuck, summer's almost over here. It's getting cold at night. Yeah. Where are we going? Summer tourists are the worst. We all know that. All right. All right, we got a question here from Jason. Hi, Angry. Is it normal for my front foot to hurt for the first couple of runs of the day? Feels like it's swelling up and very sore on the sole. The pain goes away after 2 or 3 runs. Yeah, it could be any number of things. So you could have inflammation in your tendons, and that it could be that you're using a muscle that you're not used to. It just swells up and then it tightens in the boot. The boot could be too loose. Your foot's moving around a little bit. After a couple runs, it swells up and then it takes up that volume that's in there. 2 to 3 runs, I mean, that's really not the worst thing out there for you if you're not feeling it after 2 or 3 runs. If anything, pop an ibuprofen before you ride. You'll be good to go. All right. All right, Zara Park, do you have any suggestion for a kid's board? Not like a beginner kid, but my son went to Nationals in Copper Woodward Camp and has a Donic for border cross, but needs a decent park kid board. Yeah, so you want like the Children of the Nar from Capita. There's the Rome. What the hell do they call it? It's the youth board from Rome. It's like their tweener deck. What the hell do they call it? That's really solid. K2 has a bunch of tweener decks as well that are super solid. I'm working on a top 5 like kids and tweener board for them. So like I'll do one for like Never Ever kids and then one for like those tweeners that need stuff on there. But I would look at the Children of the Nar from Capita right off the bat. Oh, you're just going in timeout for this shit. Go get some real fucking snowboard boots. You talking about switch bindings? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, where were we? Kevin Beaudry, is it safe to ride a 10-year-old board that looks well taken care of and has been rarely ridden? All you need to do, grab it by the nose, push the tail into the ground, push your arm right into the center of it and flex it and just listen. If it's cracking and stuff, that's probably the fiberglass just breaking back in because it's sat for so long. But when you flex it, look and see if the sidewalls and the edges separate or the base pops out or anything like that. Other than that, fuck yeah, go ride it. You're fine. 10-year-old board. It's not going to kill you. So, yeah. Rainer 000. Someone in the last live stream said Mountain Twin sucked at ice. Whoever said that's an idiot. But Dicey is good. The Dicey is softer than the Mountain Twin. You can press into it harder and kick it out on a carve. Can having different edge tech slow my progress as a rider? I mean, no. And here's why. I learned how to ride on a radial side cut with camber on sheet ice. Keep your edges sharp, learn edge control, ride more, stop worrying about the tech that will help you after you progress. But right now, you just need to go learn the basics and learn how to ankle steer the board and everything like that. And go catch an edge a few times. It builds character. Once you learn like what's going on with the edge and it starts to slip out and it's not gripping right, you pay way more attention to that and you learn how to be light on your feet. I mean, the reason some of the best carving people in the world grew up riding ice and they developed those skills is because they grew up riding ice. Like if you grew up on the East Coast and you rode half pipe in the 90s and you understand edge control, you can carve anything on anything. So yeah, there you go. Free poop loops. Dumbest comment you found on r/snowboard. I don't fucking go on there. That is too hellacious of an issue. My friend Crowbar was telling me, because he's on there, whenever Max Lyons posts like urban riding, they go ballistic because the guys don't have helmets on and all this shit. One of the favorite comments that he told me about was like the guy that's like, they hit rails with their snowboard, that damages the base. Like just completely oblivious. Like r/snowboarding is Kooksville. It's just fucking Kooksville. I love when they post some of my shit where I pick on them and they're like, see, he's telling us to do this. And it's like, no, I'm literally calling you out for being that fucking stupid. But yeah, like r/snowboarding is where kooks go to kooksplain to other kooks. And if you don't know what kooksplaining is, it's kind of like mansplaining or anything, but it's a kook trying to explain snowboarding to you. And I love it when they try to do this to me. One of my favorite things that I've always, there's a couple stories, but one of my favorite ones was I went down to Denver because I had a date with this chick, and I go down there and she takes me over to some of her friends' house because then we were going to go to a bar, play some games, get some food. And I was like, okay. So I go down and he's like, oh, you live in the mountains. I love snowboarding. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, me too. And, so I go through this and he's like, what do you think of this? I bought this today. And he pulls out an Attack banana. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever ridden the Attack banana, but it was like the second generation. It was not a good board. And he's sitting there and he's like, it'll turn ice into powder. And like, he just word for word reiterated the marketing spiel that's on the sticker on the back and the same thing the sales guy told him. And then he's like, check out these bindings. And I don't know what the fuck those things were, but I looked at them and I was like, do those even have a name on them? And so he's sitting there and he's just like, you don't need brand name stuff. And, you can just pick up anything. And this is going to be like the most ultimate powder board for me. And I'm like, it's a fucking Attack banana, dude. It's actually designed to be like a park board. And he's going on, or maybe he had a park pickle. It was either an Attack banana or a park pickle. I can't fucking remember. But he was going on, and he was trying to explain to me how he knew more about snowboards than me. And I was just like, yep, And that was super funny. And I'm just like, this guy has no fucking clue. Like, he snowboards like 5 weekends a year. 5 weekends. I'm talking probably one day every weekend for 5 weeks. That's it. And he's trying to explain snowboarding to me. And then he was talking about how he loves watching the X Games and all that shit. And he's like, that's real snowboarding. And I'm sitting here going, no, that's fucking jockboarding. Like, everyone's throwing a 1440 triple cork mute grab. And I'm like, what the hell? But the one that really takes the cake was when my friend John used to have a shop here on Main Street called the Lumberyard. So I'm in the downstairs. The upstairs is the board area, and it's got an open floor plan downstairs. So it goes up to the upstairs. And I'm there and I can hear this guy talking to my friend CJ that worked there. And he's like, yeah, well, Angry says this about this board, and Angry says this, and Angry says this. And I'm sitting there and CJ's just biting his tongue. And this guy's explaining everything about Angry Snowboarder to my friend CJ and trying to tell him, and he's doing a bad job. He's just doing horrible. Like, everything he said was completely opposite of what I said. And he's just going on and on and on. And finally I was like, I didn't fucking say that. He goes quiet and he's like, what? And the guy looks over the balcony and looks down at me over the railing. And I'm like, I run Angry Snowboarder. I never said that about any of those boards at all, ever. I was like, you have no clue what the fuck you're talking about. I was like, but you want to brag to my friend here that works here because you want to feel like you're a snowboarder when you're really a person that snowboards. I was like, why don't you just shut the fuck up, buy that board, it's going to be enough for you, and go ride. And he actually did. And he actually bought the board. I couldn't believe that. But I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, Kooksplainin? And the funny thing is the rise of it has gotten better. Like, people have gotten more ballsy with their misinformation and their lack of knowledge, like the whole fake it till you make it. And I really do blame people like Jonathan Buckhouse and Kevin from Snowboard Pro Camp. Like, those two are the prime example of idiots that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. And somehow they can convince people like they know what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, back in the day when I was younger and I had more time, I would go engage with these idiots online and then put them in their place and then explain it and then build up a cult following and then quit the website. Now I just fucking rant on it in live streams and it's just like, what the fuck? But Kooksplaining is a real thing. Like, if you're a person that snowboards, you don't try to explain snowboarding to a snowboarder. Now, if you're a snowboarder, you can explain snowboarding to a person that snowboards and hopefully convert them into a snowboarder from a person that snowboards. But my God, the level of stupidity, like, some people just don't capture my or catch on to my sarcasm and my snarkiness, which is funny. But some and so they'll go off on these tangents and leave these like walls of text, and I'm like, yeah, I fucking know. I know a lot. Why? I live this. Holy shit, though. Watch yourselves with the Kooksplaining. I think I'm gonna need to make a sticker that says beware of Kooksplaining. Oh god. All right. Let's see what we got here. Take some more questions. J-Raz asks, does your neck of the woods smell like a campfire? No, literally it just rains all day. I swear to God, it's snowing up on the top of the mountain. It's so cold out right now. Ted G, binding recommendations for the Jones Mountain Twin, Cartel or Malavita? I'd put the Cartel on there. Difference between the different traction tech from Jones. It's the amount of how far out the serration sticks. So if you look at it, there's ones where you can see it when it's on the board wall, and you'll be like, holy shit, that's more aggressive. And then there's ones where you get up and it's more fine in there. And then there's the number of contact bumps that they have too. At least it used to be. I can't remember. I think they just went universal and put 5 on there, but there used to be 7 and 5 different bumps on there. And so you would get more grip or less grip based on that. All right. Frank Frankerson, what's the punishment for people that slam their rental skis into expensive gear? Let them get in front of you. You got your back foot unstrapped in the lift line. Step on their brake on their ski and push them over. Grab the ski, fucking hammer toss it out of the lift line and tell them to go fetch. There's nothing more emasculating than doing that to anyone. They just sit there and they're just like, what? What just happened to me? I figured that out when I was 16 years old. I just bought a new board, and I was at Holiday Valley in New York on Cindy's Run, getting on the lift, and this dude went sideways on his skis between my bindings. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, the lifty is telling me to get on the chair, and I can't move. And he's like, you can wait. And I was like, well, you're holding up the whole line, and that's kind of rude, sir. And he turns around and he pokes me in the chest, and he's like, I said you could wait. And I said, okay, stepped on the brake, pushed him right on the ground, grabbed the ski, fucking hammer tossed it into the snowmaking pond. So it's sticking out of the middle of this pond, waving in there. And I looked at him and I was like, go fetch, asshole. And he went to push me again. And I just smacked him right upside the head. And I was like, I'll kick your ass, old man. You ever been beat by a teenager? And the lifties and everyone were like, go get your fucking ski out of the pond, asshole. And then the best was they called mountain safety or ski patrol or whatever. The ski patrol looked at him and looked where it was and was like, wait out there and get it. They made him wait out and get it. Like, seriously, that's emasculating right there to do that to someone. Oh, Frank, oh, you a spin too. What do we got? Remember to pray to the altar of snowboarding, people. Repent for your sins. I've got one here from Hamster Cool Bean. How are you able to instantly recall hundreds of board models and the way they ride? It's amazing. I have an audiographic and a photographic memory, so I can remember everything. It's gotten a lot worse with age and 23 concussions, but I can still remember conversations I had with my mom when I was like 4 years old. I can still remember conversations with my great-great-grandmother. You know, like things people shouldn't remember. I can remember it. I hold on to the most useless information I always have. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I can read a book and remember the whole thing. Like there's only been one book. No, I take that back. 2 books in my life that I've read twice. One's The Watchmen, and that's because that's just absolutely amazing. And Huckleberry Finn. Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. Those are the only 2 I've read twice. And that's because I was forced to read it a second time because of high school. Okay. Siri Lico, what do you think about the Amplid data as an all-mountain deck that is good for powder carving and small jumps? I haven't ridden that one, so I'm like kind of still out. Amplitude makes really quality boards. I really like what they've got going on. They ride exceptionally well. They have great side cuts, great technology in them. That's just one I haven't been able to ride, so I really can't speak about it. All right. We got Zara Park with the super chat. Because you answered my question and because you have a dog. I mean, thank you. Baroness, thanks you. I'll buy her some treats with that. She's asleep in the other room. She's been bored all day. All right. Remember to support the Shred Foundation. Support the Shred Foundation. Fruit Poop Loops. Any YouTubers you would recommend for split boards? They're not necessarily YouTubers, but Mountain Weekly News. Mike Hardacre is really good at breaking down split boards, far better than me. I mean, he's up there on Teton Pass, so he's got good grounds to really try stuff. So he's the guy that I would recommend right now to go check out split boards on. All right. Let's see. Fruit Poop Loops with the super chat. R.I.P. Slim Whitman. He's not dead. He's right there. Our Lord and Savior, Slimothy Whitman. Fuck off, you kook. All right. Okay. Sam Elms, how does the Peace Seeker ride differently than the ride Super Pig? So the Peace Seeker is designed for carving. That's first and foremost. It's stiffer. It's more aggressive. The camber profile sits different on that board. Just the entire ride of that board is completely different. It's designed for really hammering a hard carve off the tail, laying it over, getting that slingshot out of the apex of the turn to just spring you through the next portion of a bank slalom, then put it back over on the other edge and repeat all the way down. The Super Pig's a little more versatile, in my opinion, than the Peace Seeker. The Peace Seeker, like, once you ride it, you're like, holy fuck, this thing gives you a workout. It's got a ton of camber to it, and you really have to load it up and really push it. All right. Decker E with the super chat, looking for a spin. Oh, yeah. Fire cures all. Okay, we got Devin Lepreth. Bindings for a Rome Stalefish. So if you're doing Rome, you want to go with the katana on that. That'll give you more lateral play. Otherwise, I would look at the Union Strata or the Ultra, depending on how much lateral play you want on that. The K2 Lean AT. And I would also look at like a Now Brigade as well. If you want something with skate tech, you're going to lose some of the lateral play, but that lower high back in the skate tech will give you a little bit different of a power dynamic. Okay. Simon Vaughn, how's Holiday Valley? I'm 3 hours out, but usually ride Blue Mountain Ontario season pass holder. Also 3 hours away, looking to ride some new terrain this season. It was a great place to grow up. Does not get the snow that it used to. It rains a lot there now. They have really good snowmaking. By and large, I mean, it's the crown jewel of Western New York. It was a great place to grow up. Runs are short. You can go really fast. If you go midweek and no one's around, like during the daytime, friggin' absolutely amazing. Last time I rode there was 2019 for my birthday. That was the last time I went and rode there. And God, that place is just so fucking tiny compared. Once you live out west, you're like, this is literally nothing. So yeah. All right. Okay, we got Nick looking for the best board for park progression, icy hard Aussie snow. So you're going to probably want something with a little bit more grip just because you're coming off that hard, like freeze thaw, wet snow you guys get down in Australia. So I would look at like a Yes Jackpot, maybe like a GNU Finest or a Headspace. Just because then you're getting that added edge tech in there. Let's see what else. So there's like 3 with edge tech. Oh, Rosnell Jigsaw is another one to throw in there. So that gives you 4 options. I would really look at those right there. Since you super chatted, you get a spin on the wheel. right. Pray to the altar of snowboarding. All right, we got Lobo Mob. Sorry if you answered this, just tuned in, but thoughts on Nitro boards? Top board by them in your opinion? Nitro is super solid. I mean, they've got a deal with the Playmaker factory, so it's an exclusive. So that helps with the quality control and really dialing in the product. I've been really pleasantly, happily surprised or content with how their boards have ridden over the last few years. I mean, if you're really talking about top board in their opinion, I mean, if you're talking money wise and performance, it's the Highlander or the Pantera. But for me, like performance wise, the Team and Team Pro are solid. Super Team is one of my favorite boards from them. But even when you start to trickle down into their other boards, they have some really good stuff. And then when you get into their unique shapes, the Squash is solid. Big Pink, the super big swallowtail, you can't go wrong with that thing for being a novelty board. It's just super, super fun. All right. Yeah. All right. Brian Studi found a 20 Mountain Pig, great price. Should I precision cut a notch in the tail and make it a better performing 2022? It's your call. It's a new board. I honestly probably wouldn't do that to it, but hey, it's your money, your time. You want to DIY a project, go ahead. I mean, talking to a guy that literally took an angle grinder to a board for shits and giggles and created a tail that looks like this. Like, goodbye, effective edge. That thing's always fun to break out. People are like, what the fuck happened to you? And I was like, snow sharks, man. Come up and bite you. Tyler Kim, new mind expander camber, make it more damp and aggressive. How's it on ice? It doesn't make it any more damp. It makes it more precise and there's more power to it. You're going to get better edge hold with it because now you're not getting that surf rocker where it's just loose and you're just praying that it grips. Like you got that precision of camber. So when you push down to load it, you're driving into those contact points and they're locking in. Overall, it was the right move for that board now, in my opinion. Mr. Soccer King 44, 2021 Capita Pathfinder reverse camber solid. It's reverse camber, so you got to understand it's not going to have as much edge hold as the camber version of the Pathfinder, which I did ride that. It's playful. If you're looking for loose and playful, yeah, it's great. If you're looking for a board that is just going to be sloppy, loose, easy for rails, you're riding a small hill that's like 300, 500 vertical feet, sure. If you're trying to use it as an all mountain board or you're riding bigger mountains and stuff, not going to be the best, but it's actually a really competent board for what it is. All right, Tim Hunt, what's your favorite short, wide, cambered party board? So the three that stick out to me when you say cambered, so the short, wide, Jamie Lynn, the K2 Party Platter, and the Marhar Lumberjack X. Those are the three that really stick out as great cambered party boards that are wide. You get that volume shift in there, and you get a mix of different edge techs, and you're going to get a mix of flex patterns in there and construction methods. But all three of those are really, really solid. All right, let's give you a spin too since you super chatted. All right. Oh, man. Coming soon. I haven't put a new prize on the wheel, but yeah. Okay. All right. Answered that question too many times. Don't give a shit. Let's see. MJV14, any idea who will be making T-Rice's boots in the future? His DC boots are discontinued, unfortunately, and those boots fit my feet and fit my needs really well. I don't know if he's going to have another pro model boot. He's kind of, you got to realize he's 40 now, 39, 38, 39. It's almost 40. He's hitting that point where he's in a different portion of his career. he's not selling as much product based on his name anymore, and he's got the natural selection thing that's kind of keeping him relevant. My guess is that even though he won't have his pro model boot with DC, they will have a model that's based off of it without his name on it, so they don't have to pay any royalties. And if that DC fits you, look for something in DC that's got that same price point, because I guarantee you it's probably using similar last, if not the same last for it, and go from there. All right, we got a super chat from Should I Slay or Should I Flow? Hey, Avran, hovercraft or navigator for a non-volume shift powder board that will rail groomers? Get well treats to Baroness. The hovercraft has better edge hold than the navigator, especially if you get into anything firmer and icier. I think the navigator is like better in tight trees. It's just more torsionally soft. It floats different. It's easier. It's just when you ride a Capita, there's things you notice about it. But I think the hovercraft is a little more durable. I think it's also a little more beastly. Like if you're in open terrain, with like rocks, I'd want the hovercraft. Open terrain, I don't have to worry about drilling anything. It's the navigator. But when it comes to carving, I think the hovercraft edges out the navigator just a hair. So what do we got? Smash that like button, people. All right. Okay. Anthony Shrill. I just ordered my son a 75 centimeter K2 board. Any suggestions on kid boots and any other kid gear needed? So when it comes to boots, you want something that's easy for them to get in and out of. By and large, don't get them anything with laces. Get him something with boa or even the Velcro closures. I mean, at 75 centimeter, he's just a little dude. So you can get away with it right now. I mean, hell, my friends used to put their kids in the Columbia boots, like the little winter snow boots. Yeah, they don't have a lot of ankle support, but it was a lot easier to put them in, and the kid could walk around easier and they wouldn't cry. The big thing is make it a game and make it fun for them. Like, let them just have fun. If they want to lay down middle of the run and make a snow angel, let them do it, man. Just have fun. The only thing that I can think of that you probably want to get the little backpack for them, the little chest harness one with the handle. So that way when you go to get on the chair, you can just pick them up and set them right down. It is so much easier than trying to like pick them up, slow the chair. Because if you just go out there holding them down, when the chair comes around, you're holding them up, you set them down, they're good to go. That's really the big thing. Hand warmers for their gloves, like get a glove that you can slide a hand warmer between the layers. Like, so it's got like the little zipper pocket. That way, keep their hands warm. They're going to be happy. Get them wearing their goggles now in the preseason. Get them used to wearing the helmet, goggles, whatever, so that they're used to looking through it so they don't freak out. If you can build it up before you get there, everything gets infinitely easier. With a 75 centimeter board, you can probably get that little clip thing to pull them around. If you got carpet in your house, have them stand in the board and just pull them around and whip them around and like get them used to making the movements and whatnot. It makes things so much easier. That's what we do for my nephew, Waylon. We put him in that. We were ripping him up and down the alley and stuff like that. And now he'll stand between his dad's legs and hold on to him on his snowboard and ride down. Last year was his first experience going to the resort. It took 2 hours to get him down the run, but he like kind of knew how to turn already at 2. So if you really build him up early and give him the tools to succeed, you're not going to have problems later on. So yeah, hopefully that answers that. All right. Let's see. We got a super chat here from Noodles. Give him a spin. What do we got? Oh, there we go. Smash that like button, people. All right. Jeff Drummy, what are your thoughts on Keystone's new lift issue with the illegal road that got built? Because they're fucking idiots. And I could have told you that they were going to do this because they'll ask for forgiveness rather than permission. And they don't give a fuck. Whoop-de fucking do. They're putting a lift into something that used to take 10 minutes to hike. and it's got a shitty ass run out. I don't give a fuck about Vail Resorts. I haven't ridden Keystone in probably 10 years. Yeah, at least 9. I don't give a fuck. I love driving past it to A Basin when I see that line of cars backed all the way up in the right lane, and I'm just sitting there like, sucks to suck, bitches. I'm going to the basin and parking next to the chairlift. You still got to walk through a parking lot, wait in line, get up to the top of the gondola, strap in, and then maybe ride. Like, fuck Keystone and fuck Vail Resorts. All right. We got Shine Links with the super chat. Spin for the new job that I got. More shred time. Hell yeah. Jobs that let you shred more. All about it. Fire cures all. All right. All right. Orion Mosensenzada. What are your opinions on 3BT? So here's the thing with 3BT. Great in powder. It creates that hull-like effect. It funnels it out. Slush, it's the same thing. On ice, you lose that edge bite because you don't have those contact points. It's bringing it back more underfoot. So you got to understand how to steer it with more ankle movements. And it's kind of like riding a cam rocker board at that point. The other thing is there's, I think, 10, 12 different versions of 3BT, depending on what models you go with. Some of them have a wider platform for the flat. Some of them have a narrower. The wider platform, in my opinion, always rides better in that. But I've got a ton of reviews coming up with their stuff. So Party Wave Plus, Goliath Plus, Evil Twin Plus, Fun Kink, Disaster Plus, a bunch of their bindings and stuff. Like, their boards are fairly solid. So Jason with the super chat. My friend rode across my new dance hall in the lift line with his rental board. Got a few nice scratches on the top sheet. Now, it sounds like you don't have a friend anymore either. It's okay. You can always order stickers from angrysnowboarderstore.com to cover those scratches. Oof. Lose a turn. Wait. Oh, yeah. Ouch. All right. We got Zara Park. I'm a ski patrol candidate this year. They said I need flow bindings for easy in out. I may be too embarrassed to wear some. I have always had ride aluminum bindings since 2000s. Are there okay in and out ones? So what you're going to want, because you're used to riding a regular binding versus a flow, you're going to probably want the Supermatic. So with this, you hit the release lever, opens up, opens the strap, you step in, your foot catches on this little heel hoop here, and you're back in. It's way better. I can't believe that they're going to limit you to flows. Like, that doesn't make sense. I see people all the time at other resorts riding with regular strap bindings. Like, it's not any different. I would even argue that now they're going to take you out of your comfort zone and what you know how to release and put you into a position where it does not make sense. That's got to be some small hill bullshit right there. Like, that's just so convoluted to try to do that. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, Michael Jaxa, 23 Captain Mercury deck. Have you ridden it yet? No. How much different compared to the Mega Merc? There's going to be a noticeable difference in the core profiling of those and how much snap they have. The Mega Merc's going to have more snap, and the side cuts are a little different on them as well. I'm hoping I will be able to ride some come November. All right. Let's see. Oh, we got a spam bot in here. Let's take care of that. Okay. Let's see. Alex Brown, thoughts on the LibTech Apex Orca? I went all out on it this season and put it through hell. I have the top sheet D-Lam on me, but no edge break. They just honored my warranty. Super wide, best board I've ridden. That one I haven't been able to get on. They just didn't have one when I asked for it. So I was able to get a golden Orca, and I could have got a regular Orca to ride again, but there's no change there. I'm curious how that actually rides. That's just one that I haven't been on. So, yeah. All right, Joe Ippolito, what's a good stiff all-mountain twin? I currently ride an ancient Arbor Element. I recently got an Arbor A-frame, which I love to ride, but I want a twin board now with a similar fast, stiff feel. Okay. Ride Bench Warmer. Rome Mod Stale. Capita Super DOA. Rosinal Juggernaut. That'd probably actually be the stiffest one on the list so far. Let's see. What else would be really good? That's super stiff. You could go with the Jones Ultra Mountain Twin, but you're going to pay out the ass for that. And I'm not going to lie, it probably won't be what you want, ideally. But that's 5 boards right there for you. Patrick Eisner, when is the Nidecker Supermatic review coming? I filmed it today. That's going to be the first review starting September 1st for every day of reviews till the end of the year, it seems. So you got about 31 days till it comes out. Fruit Poop Loops, when does Icon start mailing season passes? I don't know. Go on their website and find out. Paul DeVille, any Nitro reviews coming up? Yeah. So you'll get the Team Pro boards, then you'll get Team Pro Phantom Machine. There's 4 binding reviews. I know that much. So yeah. All right. Noodles, +1 on buying the kid harness. It saves your back on crashes and helps tremendously on the chairlift. There you go. That's someone that's definitely used it. So, what do we got? Ooh. Eat your muscle cheese, people. Eat your muscle cheese, especially if you're lifting small children up. Okay, David Lee is Form Snowboards coming back this year. Holler back. I think the prototype testing some stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a mid-season release, but they're keeping it real close to the chest on this. Okay. David Dixon, looking for new bindings. Current setup is a Burton 2016 Craig Kelly Nug 150 with Burton 2012 custom EST bindings. Thoughts on the Rome C8? Rome doesn't make the C8. You're looking at the Ride C8. There's actually a review of the Ride C8, so that'll tell you about it. The C8 is a super solid all-mountain freestyle binding. I really like the straps. You just got to make sure with your boots, because certain boot shapes won't fit that toe strap. You just got to be aware of that, but the review will tell you more about that. The ratchets are solid. The adjustability is solid. The footprint on that binding is a lot smaller than the old Ride stuff used to be. They're really doing good on that. So pray to the altar of snowboarding, people. All right, we got a super chat from Fruit Poop Loops. No one cares that you ride a Donic. All right, Ben Donaldson, binding recommendation for a Lago double barrel. Currently paired with Union Flight Pro because I want something light. Didn't anticipate just how light those are. You feel everything underfoot. Sounds like you want something with a little bit more dampening. So for the double barrel, which is a great board, by the way, I would check out like your Roam Katana. If you're on a budget, you can bump down to the Vice. That'll be super solid for you. I also like the Battalion Astros. You can choose whether you want to go with the ASIM heel cup or the full rep. Full rep will give you more lateral power. The ASIM wrap gives you a little more play on that. The Ride C8, the Now Select Pro. If you stuck with Union, bump yourself up to the Strata. You're going to get a little bit more dampening out of that from the foot pad as well. So there's multiple options right there for you. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Malin Roberts, any experience with prior snowbirds? I haven't talked to them in probably 10 plus years. Charles, you find any word from L Stacker since the ban was lifted? I don't think he knows it was lifted, but I'm waiting. Something's going to happen there. All right, Anthony Hawking, spin for videos about destroyed pants. Finally cleaned them all up. There were so many scraps of fabric on the floor in here and shit. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, summer tourists are the worst. All right. Let's see. We got a super chat from Joe Ippolito. Thanks so much for the stiff twin board recommendation. Yeah, no worries, man. Hope you find something that you like. Oh, yeah, and to throw another option, you should check out the Nitro T3 too. That thing's fucking stiff. So yeah. Oh, wow. All the way back around, and no one cares that you ride a Donic. All right. We got Noodles with the super chat. I'm 5'7", 188.5 boot. Love carving, slow speed, slashing, and tight trees. Or am I looking at the wrong board? No, you're probably. I mean, you love carving, slow speed, slashing, and tight trees. So you should check out some. Okay, so this is what I would do. I would look at a Karua. From the sounds of it, since you like slow speed slashing, I would look at a pencil from Karua. I would look at a Niseko Simple Pleasures from K2. Ride Super Pig, Solomon Super 8, Rosno Sashimi, and for shits and giggles, I'm going to throw the Rome Stalefish at you as well. Those are boards I think you should go check out and see if that's something in those that you might actually like. Oof, you lose. All right, so I see we got 135 people in here. If you're just tuning in, get your questions in the chat box wherever it shows up. I'm going to answer them. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. You know, and if you're easily offended, you've been warned. All right. All right. Dr. King Candy, looking for boards. I love carving, digging trenches, going Mach 10. Good in icy conditions in Ontario, Canada. Love a friend's 1819 Mountain Pig, 162, 575 pounds. K2 Alchemist, Ride Commissioner Jones. So Alchemist, yes. Ride Commissioner, hell yes. Or you go with the Mountain Pig. Jones, you might like the Storm Wolf. That board actually carves really well. Other options, I think, check out the Karua Pencil Plus or even the Transition Finder Plus. Let's see. The Ride Peace Seeker would be another one that I would throw on there. Just keep your edges super sharp. That thing's absolutely amazing at carving. The Nerd Superposition, that's one you want to put on that list as well. Let's see. To an extent, the LibTech Retro Ripper is one that I think most people look at the Swallowtail, but they don't realize that thing can leave a friggin' trench. So, all right. So let's see. All right, we got a super chat from Fruit Poop Loops. Which brand, in your opinion, makes the best heel strap? So I've been really surprised with the Battalion bindings heel straps, like on the Astro and the Blaster. Like, kind of want to swap out my Rome bindings strap for those because I mean, let's be real. Other than the Atom and that Fisher Price switchback shit, the Blaster and the Astro bindings are Rome bindings with different straps and foot pads and high backs on them. That heel strap is absolutely phenomenal on the Astro and the Blaster. That Aux Tech one that they have that's thicker, that really stood out to me this year. I was like, I got on it and was like, whoa, kind of want these. And I might just order some to swap out my black labeled strap and go with that. Oof, you lose. Ouch. All right. David Lee, what do you think about Academy snowboards? It sucks that they're made at Never Summer. I like Academy. I like Chad O. I really want to support Chad O. The Masters is a really good board, actually. A lot of the other stuff, it's just middle of the road at best. And what company do you think make the best bindings? I'm a big fan of Rome. I mean, I've been riding black labels now for years. Personally, I think K2, if they would get rid of that fucking canting in their bindings, would be absolutely amazing again, but no. Ride's doing a lot of cool stuff since they revamped their binding line. I'm really curious about that Union Ultra as well. That looks really unique. Right now, like, we're in the golden age of bindings. Like, it's hard to make a shitty binding these days. Like, everyone's making solid stuff. All right. Frank Frankerson, how do I prevent a rust on my edges? Don't leave your board in a place with moisture. If you keep it in a dry area, you'll be fine. If you're putting it in a board bag, make sure you take your bindings off before you do and wipe down the bottoms of them and wipe your inserts out. And if you need to, take a sock, fill it with a little rice and throw it in there to suck up the moisture. Or if you got some silica gel pack, those silica packs that come in like your shoes and shit, you got a few spares of those, throw them in the board bag when you put it into storage. Otherwise, you can wipe it down with WD-40 around the edge before you put it in storage as well. But it's all going to be surface rust. That's going to come off the second you ride. Like, I'm pretty sure some of these boards probably have surface rust on them. And I'm not even worried about it. Remember to eat your muscle cheese, people. All right. Super chat from Anthony Hawking. Are your poll? I think a lot of people would benefit from your teardowns that show the difference between good gear and rebranded kook junk from Alibaba. Yeah, I really want to order those snowboard packages that I see on Amazon that are board boot and binding. And then I want to go to the house and order some of their stuff. Like, basically, I want to order like anything that's like $500 or less board boot and binding package and just cut that shit in half and just show how cheap it is. That's what the whole point was with the pant destruction video that I'm working on right now. That's why I did the goggle video. I want to do more of that shit, but it's time consuming. And then there's like the whole like, okay, I got a budget. I got to buy like 10 pairs of something and stuff. And when you start getting into board boots and bindings, so, you know, there's that. It's tough. It's just tough. Oh, yeah. Drink your Zima, people. Drink your Zima. Okay, Paul DeVille. I ride a LibTech skate turd for a rock board. That's what it's perfect for. Nitro squash and a Nitro pow. What board would you recommend adding to the stable? You need an all-mountain freestyle board that's directional twin. So you're looking at like your Nitro team, your Team Pro, since it looks like you like Nitro boards, or like a Capita Mercury, a Jones Mountain twin, a Battalion Fun Kink, a Public Dispute, something like that. Christian Meza, are the Malavita and the Union Atlas similar? Currently on the Malavitas and want to try Union for next season, riding an Arbor Westmore. No, God, no. No. Jesus Christ, no. Holy fuck. Those are opposite ends of the fucking spectrum. You want something similar to the Malavita. You're looking at like the Flight Pro, maybe like the older, because they got rid of it, the Contact Pro, even a Force before you get anywhere near an Atlas. Ugh. No. So, okay. Overexposed. Thanks for the content. I got a Yes Basic on ink last year. It's way too stiff. Stuck on icy East Coast. Suggestions on flexible, fun jib stick that can hold up on ice. Thinking draft or sleepwalker. It's not that it's stiff. It's because it's full camber. It's probably killing you. Go with the draft out of those two. Sleepwalker's good, but it won't have as good edge hold as the draft. Otherwise, I would even look at like a GNU Finest. All right. Steven Mendoza with the super chat. A spin for Steve the Skier who just wants to buy shit tickets at the store in peace. Oh, Steve the Skier, buy the shit tickets. He has to pray to the altar of snowboarding that those turds fly out his butt easier. Noodles, apparently I missed up my first question. I was looking at the Stratus 156 or 59, 5,780, 8.5 love carving, slow speed, slashing, and tight trees. I'm better going to a volume shifted board. I think all the ones that I recommended to you work better for what you're looking for. The Stratus is really just a mountain twin with a different tip and tail shape. It'll work for what you're describing, but I think those other boards that I previously answered for you, I think that those really fit in there. The Stratus could be an option, but you know, that's the whole thing is those other boards that I recommend. Fire cures all. All right. Michael Jake said, 2-board quiver for the Pacific Northwest, mostly carving, charging, all mountain riding recommendations. Yeah, I would go with a Karua transition finder, and then I would go for like a powder gun, just something for deep days. Like you're going up to Baker, Mount Hood gets hammered and you're at Snow Bowl or something like that. I would just get a straight POW destroyer at that point. Like your Jones Storm Wolf, or even a Lone Wolf if you can find it. Maybe a Ride Mountain Pig, Rosnell Sashimi, or you could even bump up to the XV if that's your cup of tea. An Endeavor Archetype, just something like that. All right. Noodles again. Come on, sticker pack. Let's give it a big spin. See what we get for you. Oh, there goes one sticker pack. Ooh, ouch. Smash that like button. Oh, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah, you can go in timeout. Fucking talking about Kratom. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Recommendations for BC. I'd like to still use in resort. I could use something. I've already got the Y. Got like the Y or the Dynamo. Keen to hear your thoughts. You don't need another board, man. Just go fucking use it. Just go use what you got. You don't need another board. So many people get hung up on, I need to have more and more and more shit. You don't need more shit. You just need to ride the same shit you have more. You got good boards for it. Doesn't fucking matter. I got like 1,000 fucking snowboards. Literally, I would ride like 2, maybe 3. Be fine. People overthink it all the time. All right, fire cures all. All right, Ben Donaldson, planning my next midweek trip to Summit County. If I had to choose Copper or A-Basin or somewhere else, well, you've only got 2 other options in Summit County, and that's Breck and Keystone, and you don't want to go there. The good thing is between A-Basin and Copper, you're only looking at about an 18-mile difference if you have to drive from one to the other. But I go to Copper because you get more variable terrain. A-Basin's great for what it is, but you got to remember it is a locals mountain and it does have limited terrain options. Copper has more terrain, more variable terrain, and if they open that backside, you got the bolts and everything. I love them both to death, but for different reasons. I would go to Copper. So. All right. We got one here from Adam Rosner. Any idea on the ride of the public dispute versus the Dinosaurs Will Die Holtz? 180 pounds, size 10, East Coast. Looking at a 159, 158. Big respect. Thank you. I haven't been on the Holtz, so I can't speak about that. But the dispute is like your old school cambered snowboard that you've ridden 100 days and you know how it's going to react. It's got great pop, good edge hold if you keep the edges sharp because you're on the East Coast, good side cut for engagement. Like all the public boards, except for the Statement, because I ate shit on that thing, it almost killed me, are amazing. Like the way they redesigned them from when they first came out, like their side cuts and everything just work so much better. The Dispute is a really, really good board. Okay. Centauri 2410. Hi, Avran. Got the wife an Arbor Camber rocker for the first board. Found a pair of Ride Ivy bindings on sale. Is that a good match? What did you get her the camber or did you get her the rocker? They don't make a camber rocker. It's like either you get full reverse or you get camber. Yeah, the Ivy should match up. Or you meant Nitro Ivy. God, I was gonna say Ride Ivy. That's an old one. But the Nitro Ivy, yeah, that should match up totally fine. You shouldn't have to worry about that. So. Okay. Dr. Candy with the Super Chat sticker looking for a spin. All right. Eat that muscle cheese, people. Also, don't forget, we got the Black Friday live stream-a-thon coming up in September, right after Thanksgiving in the United States. We're going to be giving away a lot of snowboards on that day. Plus, we'll be doing our annual Shred Foundation fundraiser, trying to raise money for the kids, doing a bunch of cool stuff there. We got prizes for that. So Danny from Shred Foundation and I are locking that in. Be aware of that. And working on a couple other things where I'm going to do a bunch of giveaways for you guys. All right, Noodles. So much more with the Super Chat. So much more fun than buying stickers normally. Hey, you do you, buddy. You do you. Still got to get the Plinko board. I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do that for this, but I want to get some new games in here. Oh, you just missed it. You rolled back to lose a turn. This is absolutely hilarious. Ride Nines, I have no questions. Just here to give props to your video on the Machete GT. Oh, I fucking hated that board. Had the 2016, sold it a week later. That board was a bigger dog than some of the girls I brought back freshman year. Hey, man, when it's Wednesday, it's War Pig Wednesday. If you call no standards, no regrets, anything can happen. Anything. All right. Well, anyways, anyone just getting in, you got questions, get them in the chat box. I'm going to try to answer them right now. I've been here for a little bit over an hour. I'm going to try to just take a few more, dip out. We will have another live stream on Thursday this week, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 3 to 5, so 2 hours of answering your guys' questions and stuff. So, all right. Let's see. Fruit Poop Loops. How do you still have the patience to continue helping and answering questions after dealing with numerous stupid people? Because I mock the stupid people to the point that they get offended and then they make a whole thing about, I'm unsubscribing and you'll never hear from me again. And then like a year later, they'll fucking hire me on the personal shopper or something and be like, I need you to answer questions. And I'm like, I thought you said you were done with me, and I call them out. But I took their money and I just laughed because I took their fucking money and they had to come and get my advice because they couldn't get it anywhere else. That always makes me laugh. But by and large, like, I answer the same questions like 100 times a week. I'm just like going through it. But here's the thing. Would I have more fun working at a snowboard shop for someone else, making what, maybe $15-20 an hour with a 3% commission? Or could I work for myself from home and work a couple hours a day, get to hang out with my dog, do whatever I want, go wherever I want, and live a better life? Like I started looking at it the other day and was like breaking down like how much I actually work right now and what I make in an hourly amount. And it's fucking absurd to me. Like, yeah, in the winter I work more, but it's so much better than having a bullshit job. And all of you support me for this, which is absolutely amazing. 15 years of doing angry, coming up on 15 years. And I still can't believe, like, I finally hit the point. Like, when I started this, there was no way to make money. And now I'm like, wow, there's ways to make money. This is fucking crazy. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. Alexander Brown, looking at a budget split, looking at the Rosnell sashimi and some others, want to hear your thoughts. So, if you're on a budget, here's the cool thing. You can probably actually pick up a last year's Rosnell sashimi from anywhere from 20 to 40% off. And they might even be able to find one from 2 years old. Nothing's changed in it. That would be anywhere from 20 to 60% off. If you can save the money, fucking go do it, man. Because if you save money on your equipment, I hope you're putting that towards going to ride more. I would hope. So hopefully you'll be able to do that. And that would be absolutely awesome. What I do like about the whole sashimi thing is, like, that board really hasn't changed too much. So that, okay, out of 191 votes on the poll tonight, our Sunday night live stream solid, 95% of you voted yes, 4% voted no. Don't know where that 1% went. Okay. Okay, we got one here from Hawks fan. Any thoughts on the new bent metals? Yeah. So I rode the joint. That was solid. There's that new one too that they just came out with. That's like the price point one. It's like softer than the action. For what it was, I mean, it was very meh. But overall, like, the bent metal bindings are really solid. Like, they've come a long way. So yeah. So let's see. Okay. Ben Donaldson, like an idiot when I first started riding, I rested my board on my boot on the lift. Now snow and ice build up on that spot. Tried waterproofing spray, but no luck. Any thoughts besides don't be dumb? Yeah. Spray some Rain-X on top of it, and who gives a shit? Like, let me... Like, this is my rear boot. I obliterated it, but I mean, it gets wear marks there. This one didn't get it as bad as previous ones, but I don't think I have another one here. But I do it all the time. I rest my boards on. I don't give a shit. Like, it's a non-big issue. Who cares? Snow builds up on it. Stomp your foot. You'll be fine. Like I said, spray it with some Rain-X. You'll be good. Malin Roberts, ever try a stone message? No. Those stone boards were wonky when I rode them, the two that I rode. Okay. All right. Noodles, your opinion on the best volume shifted boards that can absolutely carve? Bring on the stickers. Fuck, man. You want a volume shifted board that can carve? Just go buy a fucking Peace Seeker. Just go buy it. I rode it in a 151. I'm 200 pounds. This thing just absolutely rips. There's nothing better. There's nothing better in the volume shifted category for ripping carves. Get a Peace Seeker. I'm not even going to give you other options. Just go get it. All right. Now let's get you some stickers. It's flying. Well, maybe if you pray to the altar of snowboarding, you'll win some. Laser, any updates on upcoming Season Jones flagship? No, nothing changed. Okay, Alpine Breed, looking for a all-mountain free ride for Australia, then Japan, backcountry adventures, and screwing around on the resort. Any suggestion? Cheers, you're the best. I mean, if you're looking for an all-mountain free ride that can kind of just do it all, ride Berserker, Jones Flagship, or Ultra Flagship, kind of your call on that one. You might like the Signal Sierra as well. The Yes Pick Your Line DCP on ink. Don't get the regular Pick Your Line. That thing's but the DCP on ink is better. That one's pretty solid. Yeah, I think that's a couple good options for you right there. Oh, and the K2 Passport. Hell yeah. Ryan, looking for a twin that can charge and is capable in POW. Yes, standard on ink or Jones Aviator. Get the standard on ink. Hands down. All right. Purple People, what would you suggest to replace a pair of Frankenbinders? Cartel base, Vita highbacks, and Genesis straps. Can Reflex discs wear out? Yeah, they can. Any disc can. Pull that disc out and look at it and flex it a little bit and look to see if there's any chalky white areas in it. Because if that is, that means the plastic's drying out in there and it's going to die. But you've got an interesting combination there between the three of those. So bindings that I would look at like the Battalion Astro or the Blaster, and you probably want the full wrap over the ASIM wrap versions of those. You might even like the Rome Katana, which would be the ASIM wrap, but it's got a different strap to it. Or the DOD, because that's got the old foam strap on there. Maybe the Now Select Pro, but then you get Skate Tech. Those are your things. Or you build another set of Frankenbinders out of Burton parts. Oh, the spam bot's back. Well, got rid of that one. Okay, let's see. Okay. G-Seds 89. Hey, Avran, heading to Japan this winter, 185 pounds, size 12 boot, thinking of picking up an excavator, 54 or 58. You probably want the 54. The 58 would be a little bit more overkill for you. So I think the 54 should give you the float you want. And at 185 pounds, you can still throw that thing around if you need to. So, okay. We got J-Rez with the super chat. I asked this 2 years ago, wondering if the answer changed. What's the best board for carving? Nothing else, just carving on groomers. So I've got just groomer carving. So right now, hands down, it's the Ride Peace Seeker. Like, that thing is just fucking phenomenal. But that Karua Pencil Plus crushes it too. I feel it's better than the Cafe Racer, which is a carving board from them. There's just like, you got so many options. Like, a lot of companies are really making like solid mass-produced boards for carving, which is really pissing off the whole Donic crowd. And I love every minute of it because their boards suck ass. But I would say the Peace Seeker right now. So yeah. All right. Jay Ellis, best tip you have moving to Summit County. Oh, I can give you a book on this topic. One, if you haven't locked your housing in in the next 2 weeks, you're fucked. You're completely fucked. You need to lock your housing and make sure you have a good landlord. So, if the guy's name is Todd and he's your landlord, you don't want him. You just don't want him. But if you're renting from like Fortunato Properties or something, remember to pay your rent on time or you're getting a fucking eviction notice. You want your first, last, and deposit all up front if you can. That is going to be very pricey for you. Make sure your name is on the lease because That way, if you have to take someone in or anything happens, you can boot them out a lot quicker than if they're on the lease and you're not. Uh, get an AIDS test, well, an STD test before you get here. Make sure you have about $1,200 saved and put it in a savings account that you cannot touch, something that you do not have access to on the internet to move to your checking account. If anything, come in with $1,200. Go to one of the local banks, whether it's First Bank, Bank of the West, or Alpine Bank. Open a bank account, a savings account. Leave that money. That is your emergency fund if the shit hits the fucking fan. $1,200 is enough that someone will rent you a room when someone else gets evicted if the shit hits the fan and you're not in a good situation. It's good to have that. Get accident insurance if you do not have health insurance. It will run you about $25 a month. It can cover, it can cover you for up to $30,000 in damages to anything that happens to you. When you rent your place, pay the $150 a year and get renter's insurance and make sure that you get the pipe coverage. Trust me, especially if you're young and you're moving here and you're cramming a bunch of people into a one bedroom, that drain's going to back up with whatever Tundra Wookie you've been fucking in there. And that pipe could burst. Burst pipes, $10,000 minimum up here. You're probably looking at $20,000. So you pay the extra $5 a year to cover up to $25,000 for burst pipes and cleanups on that. I pay $144 a year in renter's insurance. It's peace of mind. Why is it peace of mind? Because the girls that lived in my place before me decided to flush 2.5 gallons of green chili down the garbage disposal. It backed the pipe up and blew out in one of the businesses underneath me, and the landlord ended up paying $10,000 to fix everything. So I have that insurance. That is a great peace of mind. It also makes you look more responsible to any potential landlords. Also, things that you should know. If they tell you the house is for rent in Breckenridge, make sure it's Breckenridge and not Blue River. They'll tell you it's Breckenridge, but it's Blue River. You do not want to be running the gauntlet out there. Or maybe you do. I don't know. The bus at least runs out there now. Same thing if they tell you that it's in Silverthorne or Dillon, make sure it's not like Wilderness or Dillon Valley. Like there's a big difference between Dillon proper and Dillon Valley, just like there's a difference between Wilderness and Silverthorne. You want to do that. Any job offer that you get, tell them that you want what they're paying you and what the benefits are in writing. That way, make sure you get it in an email. It doesn't matter, a text message, but if you have that and you show up and your first check is short and then they tell you you need to jump through hoops and hurdles to get everything, you have it in writing and you can be like, no, this is a violation. Like here, boom, boom, boom. They will either rectify it or you can quit and fuck them over. It doesn't matter, but you want to make sure of this. The other thing is when you initially get here, the first group of people that you're around you think will be your friends. More than likely, they will not be your friends. They are using you for something. You will realize this really quick if you're smart. If you're not, they are using you because you have a car. They are using you because you have money and can buy groceries. That, speaking of groceries, when you get here, you do not want to load up on groceries and blow your wad all at once. I see this every year. Kids come through and they buy $500 worth of groceries. It's all cheap, shitty food, and then in a week they are out of this food because they got high, drunk, whatever, partied, ate it all, and the next thing you know, they're living on ramen for the next month. So, that's the whole thing. You want to make sure that you budget accordingly. So like I said, first, last deposit, unless you're living in staff housing. And remember, if you live in staff housing, they own you. But have an extra $1,200. That's going to help you, as I've already said. And just make sure that you're smart about who you make friends with. Don't fuck the first swamp donkey that comes along or bar star or whatever, because you're probably going to get the heavy or at least crabs. And fire will cure the crabs, but you're going to end up with the scorched nether regions, and you don't want that. There's so many things. I'm actually writing a book on how to be a successful snowboard bum. I've been working on it for a while. I'd like to get it done by the first of the year, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Okay. Let's see. Let's take some more questions. All right, we got a super chat from Noodles. Stickers missing. Slim Peace Seeker. Size 5'7", 180 pounds. At 180, you probably want to go to the 47. If you want more edge hold, bump up to the 51 in the Peace Seeker. But I think the 47 is going to be the one that you ideally want with the whole volume shift. Welcome back, L-Stacker. Oh, wait, it bounced. Support the Shred Foundation, everybody. Easy 303. My girlfriend bought some Burton step-on boots in women's size 7.5. She was looking into getting the bindings, but she noticed that the kids' step-on bindings are cheaper. Will they fit with her boots? I don't fucking know. That shit's trash. Probably not. And just so you know, they're kids' bindings. They're going to be softer flexing. Okay, let's see. Malin Roberts, you wear a bib or trousers? I wear Dickies. You think they're pants, but they're not. They're not. It's just how I roll. Okay. Anyways, what do we got here? Ooh, lose a turn. Gave that the last spin. Anyways, we're going to get out of here for the night. I got some stuff I got to do. I got to take the dog out one last time. Gave guys an hour and a half. We'll be back on Thursday with another live stream. Tomorrow, you get a new explain video. Wednesday, new top 5. Friday, new review. So look forward to that stuff. Anyways, if you guys haven't subscribed, you probably should. Click the bell, get those notifications. That way, you're not going to miss any of the videos we got coming out for you. Hopefully, you're following on Instagram because I've been firing out some great memes lately. And if you really want to support us a little bit further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Got a video over there that explains it. I'll be redoing that video here shortly. And as always, I'll see you guys in another video.